All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Wednesday 30-Minute Mentor Series team call. I'm super excited that you guys are here. I know some people will be hopping on as they get onto their lunch break, and many people are still at work. And so this will be recorded as well, so just so that you know. I'm super excited about today and about having our guest speaker on. I'll give her a proper announcement and a welcome in just 1 minute. But I want to go over just a couple announcements so that we know what's going on, where focus should be as we move forward. So just checking if we're recording. The first thing I want to go over is we had an amazing Super Saturday last weekend. If you missed Super Saturday, or you didn't know about Super Saturday, you didn't prepare for Super Saturday and didn't have the opportunity to go, I want you to start preparing now, because the next Super Saturday will be in April. Gabby will be going up to Edmonton to speak at the Edmonton Super Saturday. There's a Super Saturday here in Idaho Falls that's already planned. So I'm assuming most of them are already planned moving forward into April. So I think that date is April 8th, but plan now. Plan for the first, that Saturday in April, to have your morning or afternoon free so you can go represent yourself and your team and your customers and clients at the Super Saturday. The other thing that I want to mention and talk about real briefly is, and I'll do it in the team page in more detail with a live video, but the Success Club, I guess you could say, promotion for the what's called the Team Cup is starting. Registration starts on Monday, January 15th. The registration will end on the 31st. So you'll have basically 2 weeks to do that. There's a whole FAQ, which is FAQ 9753. One thing that I love that's different than before, just so that you guys know, is usually you can only have, it's going to be teams of 5, and usually you only have 1 diamond, but this time you can have 2 lifetime diamonds, and 1 can be a star diamond as well. So for example, I'm teaming up. I haven't put my entire team together yet, but myself and one of my male diamond coaches are going to be leading a team together. So I'm just going to briefly say this, look at that coach FAQ, get in the team page and get on a team. Be proactive on finding and putting together a team, even if you started as a coach today. I'm going to tell you guys why, because in my 3rd month of being a coach, I hopped on to a team cup with my coach, Lindsay Matway. And, I hit Success Club 10 my 1st month, Success Club 10 my 2nd month, and my 3rd month, when I was pushed and challenged inside of this team cup group, I hit 30, Success Club 36. And I've never done that since then. I'm like the SC 10 to 15 guy, but I did 36 that month, which made me believe it was possible for me to do that every single month, to hit at least 10 every month if I could do 36 in 1 month. Cool thing that I'm briefly going to mention is 4 out of the 5 of us went on to become $1 million earners with Team Beachbody. We all started together. I was in my first 3 month, and we're here now 7 years later. So it'll do big things for your business in pushing you into the momentum, into the habits, into the accountability that you need to create a team. So check out that Coach FAQ. Make sure you get on a team. The other announcement that I want to make briefly is you may be seeing people registering for the Success Club trip to it's like Harmony of the Seas. We're going to go on a big cruise ship in 2019. If you're like, how do I register? What's going on? What you want to know about that is there's also Coach FAQ. I don't have it looked up right now, but you're invited to register for that trip in 2019. So what I do want you to understand about that is, if you're brand new or you've been in the business for a year, and you don't have a super high number of Success Club points, or you didn't hit Success Club consistently 12 plus months in a row, or you're not a 5-star diamond, you're not going to get an invite to that one because it's a trip you earn a year, almost 2 years before. So you want to start thinking now. If you're you see that trip and you're I want to go on one of those, to be invited on the next one, it's going to be important that you hit Success Club every single month of 2018, then come 2019, that's how you're most likely going to get an invite, either being a 5-star diamond, elite, premier, or Success Club all-star. So think about that now. It's important that you prepare for that now and start working on that now if that's on your goal list. So that's the last thing I want to mention about that, other than the thing that we mention every year, which is Team Beachbody Coach Summit. 25,000 coaches were there last year. I want you there with us. It's going to be June 21st through the 24th, basically a Thursday evening it starts. ends on Saturday night. So you want to come in Wednesday sometime or Thursday early morning and leave Sunday. It's in Indianapolis. You can go to coachsummit.com, look at all the details there. There's a special price ticket right now, or if you're a new coach, you get a discounted ticket for your first 90 days, or if you hit Success Club in your first 3 months, you also earn a free ticket to the Coach Summit. So I want you guys to plan now for that event. That's going to be if there's anything that you get invited to by me as a part of this team, like we're doing a snowboard retreat, we're doing Brendan Bouchard event, we're doing Summit. If you can only pick one, Summit is the one that you need to get to, that you must get to if you're serious about building your business. And I know you guys are, because you're on this call with us today. So I want to give a quick shout out to 2 people. A lot of people deserve recognition right now, but I want to give a shout out to Mark Roy at SC6. He had 2 of his points came from a free lead he got 8 months ago from being in Success Club and being an Emerald ranked and above coach. He got 4 Success Club points for helping people for years for free. And, it's the new year, re-engage with them, talk to them, and they are ready to make some serious changes. And then the 6th point came from a girl in the UK that's been doing Beachbody for a long time. He connected with her probably a year and a half ago, and he's been talking to her on and off, and she's finally ready after some tough love and a video chat that he did with her. So there's some clues on how he did that. And I also want to give a shout out to Sean Bergignon. He was a 2-star diamond, dropped his rank all the way down to Emerald, went through some tough things in his life, got his fire back in December, and he's sponsored 7 coaches in the past little under a month. So a shout out to Sean for making a comeback and making this his year. And with that being said, I'm going to announce our super awesome guest speaker today. I reached out to her because she is crushing it. She's crushing it right now. Her name is Ashley Locklin. I saw her in what's called the round table. It's for 5-star diamonds and above. I myself, just like you guys, I need to be a student to continually learn and grow. I need to be a student. Even though I've been doing this for 7 years, it's important to change with the changing times. So Ashley is absolutely crushing it. I asked her if she could speak and share with us what she's doing to build her team, because she advanced her business to 5-star diamond, got welcomed into this secret group run by Jeff Hill and Carl Deichler. She is a 5-star diamond in her first business center. She's a 1-star diamond in her second business center. She finished 2017, get this guys, as number 14 coach and team in the entire company. So she's a 2018 elite coach. She's a Success Club 10 all-star, and she gets and earns 60 plus Success Club points every month. And what that means, guys, is she's helping at least 30 people get started on their journey every single month. So with that being said, Ashley, I'm going to turn the time over to you. I'll unmute you. Oh, I just muted you. There you go.
Hey, Scotty. Hey, everyone. Thank you. It's such an honor to be here because as a new coach, I really looked up to Scotty and your team. But anyway, so I have a 1-year-old, and she, of course, wouldn't nap when I needed her to nap. So she's napping, and I guarantee she's going to wake up mid-presentation here. So I'm equipped with lollipops and stuff if I have to get up and get her. But anyway, so December of 2016, I decided to quit my teaching job to be a full-time coach, and my income obviously wasn't there. I was terrified, but I knew that I had to build a really successful team in order to get my income to where I needed it to be. So that was my focus of 2017. And in 2017, I recruited about 20 to 30 business building coaches every single month. And that is what brought me from, in 2016, being ranked in the thousands to the end of 2017 being ranked at number 14. And that was all from really the coaches that I recruited. So I want to share with you what I did to get those business builders. And what's really exciting is that they were all hitting Success Club or getting points on the board. And now they're all pushing to diamond. So this is going to be our year. Last year was kind of like a stepping stone. And now we're going to take off. So I want to share with you exactly what I did to get there. So now I usually present on this for 1 hour, and Scotty was 20 minutes. So I cut half the presentation out. So hopefully you will get enough of the good stuff. Okay. So first off, I just want to start with this little self-assessment. I really want you to look at yourself, because I know when I first started, I was like, oh, I'm a great recruiter. I'm getting 2 coaches a month. And I feel like until you hear what other people are doing, then you're like, oh shit, I got to step up my game, right? So just take a little self-assessment here and see where you are. And where you are and where you want to be, the thing that's holding you back is either one of these things or all of these things. You either don't believe in the coaching opportunity strongly enough and you're not sharing it. You don't believe in yourself as a leader, so you're maybe intentionally or unintentionally holding yourself back. You don't know who you want to attract, so you're just being super vague and nobody is connecting with you, or you simply just don't take enough action. I'm going to walk you through all 4 of these, what I do and how to overcome them. So first is believe in the coaching opportunity. So when I hear the word recruitment, I think of a very different connotation than other people think of. So I've heard other coaches say, I don't like to use the word recruitment because it sounds salesy or icky. I like to say grow my team. And I'm like, that's just BS. When I think of the word recruitment, I think of high school athletes being recruited by colleges and given scholarships that are going to change their lives. I think of in college being recruited to a sorority, a fraternity, where people are like, we like you. We want you to be one of us. I think of job recruitment. So my husband is in IT, and every single day he gets emails from recruiters saying, Sean, we saw your profile on LinkedIn. You have this amazing skill set. We have this job we think you'd be a really great fit for. Here are the benefits. And he doesn't get annoyed by that. He's like, damn straight, I got some skills and I'm glad somebody's recognizing it, right? So I go into recruiting to the coaching opportunity with that same mentality of, this is a gift and this is an honor for me to invite you to join me and change your life. So I am constantly thinking about what coaching has done for me, and I'm sharing it relentlessly and unapologetically. And I'm going to talk about that more in a moment. But before I had success, when I was a new coach, I simply looked at those who went before me. I looked at Scotty, I looked at Lindsay Matway and Anita Myron, and was like, if they can do it, I can do it too. So I never once doubted the opportunity and thought, maybe this is a scam. Maybe this is, only some people can make it. Maybe I can't make it. No, I was like, I am going to make this work. This business doesn't play favorites, and I believe in it. So what you need to be thinking about consistently are these 3 successes, and you need to be sharing these. And right, this is what's going to get other people to believe in the coaching opportunity. So your physical successes, is this what keeps you on track? For me, I hate working out, but being a coach, right, I'm forced to do my workout every day. So I share that, right? Like if I was just a challenger, I probably wouldn't have I've had a 75-pound weight loss through Beachbody, and that probably wouldn't have happened if I wasn't a coach. And the emotional successes, right? What does the community do for you? What does personal development do for you? Do you feel like you finally found your thing? You need to be sharing that. And those financial successes, before I was successful and making 6 figures, I would share those little wins, right? If you earned $14 and that can pay, like for me, I love fancy peanut butters and almond butters, right? Like fluff butter is like $14 a jar. And before Beachbody, I just walked right by those and would look and be like, oh, I wish I could buy that. But now I'm like, damn straight, I have this $14 paycheck. I can buy that peanut butter. And what that post does is that speaks directly to a girl who's just like me, who is like, yeah, I like fancy peanut butters too, but I can't afford it. But hey, maybe I will do this where I work out. I have a reason to actually get in shape, and I can buy that fancy food that I really like, right? So share those small wins, put them into terms that people can relate to, even if it's $20. What did that buy you and your kid, like a gymnastics class or something? And then in private messages, I always shared my vision. So publicly, I wouldn't say I'm going to quit my job because my boss followed me. But in private messages, I would say, I am planning on leaving my job in a year, in 6 months, in 2 months. And that would plant the seed with people. They'd be like, really? Like you can earn enough money to do this full time? So even if you're not there, share where you want to go. Okay, so that was, you have to believe in the coaching opportunity. You cannot doubt it, and you cannot think that you haven't had any success yet, because those beliefs are what's holding you back. Now you need to believe in yourself. I see a lot of coaches who say, oh, I can't recruit anybody yet because I don't know enough yet. I can't lead anybody. I don't know what to do. I want to spend a little bit of time just focusing on myself. And, I get that everybody has their own journey and their timeline, but this is very much a build a plane as you fly it kind of gig. You can't sit there and read all of the new coach trainings and FAQs and then begin to take action. You learn by doing. And if you want to be a better coach, I hear this a lot, I can't lead people because I'm not hitting high success club numbers. I'm not doing well. You sign up coaches if you want to better yourself, right? Speed of the leader is speed of the pack. So if you want to step up your game, you have to recruit people so that you have to step up and you have to lead them. So for example, I get high success club points every month, and it's a non-negotiable for me. And so my coaches inevitably get high success club points because as new coaches come in, they see the leaderboards and they realize, oh, this is the standard, right? Everybody in here is pulling in high numbers. So if I were to only get SC5 every month, like they would come in and realize, oh, that's good. So when I am pushing to get higher numbers, they are pushing to get higher numbers. Sometimes I will sign up coaches and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm actually intimidated by this girl who's signing up with me, right? Like I am like, she's amazing, but that's stepping outside my comfort zone. I have to level up in order to mentor her to where she needs to be. So you have to push through those limiting beliefs and you have to be your best coach. So if you want to be a better coach, you sign up coaches and you push yourself to be better. This book is what I read in December of 2016, right when I quit my job and right when my business exploded in actually December. It really, really took off in that month. And so I have read it 2 times now. Grant Cardone is like my favorite, and you'll see another book by him in a moment, but Be Obsessed or Be Average, definitely read that if you haven't. So we talked about believing in the coaching opportunity. We talked about believing in yourself. Now we have to talk about kind of the specifics of knowing who you want to attract. You have to be specific and you have to be you. So when I first signed up as a coach, my upline coach is blonde, is super fit, was in like fitness competitions, and like doesn't really care about food that much. And I'm like the complete opposite. I'm brunette. I don't like to work out. I'm not fit. And my world revolves around food. But I was trying to be like her and sell that love for fitness, and it was just so fake. So then I started to just be me. And I talk about how I don't like working out, but it's a daily discipline. It's like brushing my teeth. And now I attract women who are just like me and they get it. And it's fun because we love food. And when we have like in-person events, it's like really amazing. So just be you. And I remember I didn't want to say like, oh, I'm looking for women to join my team. And I know you guys have a mixed team and that's amazing. But like, I don't know how to mentor men, but I was like, I don't want to exclude men. And then I was like, I don't want to exclude just women. I don't want to say I want moms, because what if there's like a one random woman who's like not a mom? So now, I mean, my success really happened when I got super specific and I said, I'm looking for moms who went to school, got a bunch of degrees, have student loan debt. They don't want to work that job anymore. They want to be at home. They have to pay off their debt, and they have a passion. They really want to work. They want to be leaders. And I'm a red ruby, and so I try to attract a lot of other red rubies. So I'm always looking for like women who are competitive. So in the posts that I make publicly, I will say I want women who are competitive, and point out those things that I want in people so that they know exactly who I'm speaking to, and it kind of like weeds out the people who I don't really want. Now, I post about coaching all the time, and that's where my success comes from. And I'll dive more into this in just a second. But I hear a lot of coaches say, I don't want to talk too much about coaching and like annoy my friends and followers. And I'm like, get over yourself. Really? Because think about it this way. If you owned a coffee shop and you opened up a coffee shop, you would not say, I don't want to annoy my neighbors. I'm not going to talk about my coffee shop. I'm not going to put a help wanted sign in my window. You would be like, please, everybody come to my coffee shop. Do you know anybody who wants to work here? I'm hiring, right? So you have to have that same mentality with coaching. You have to open your doors consistently every single day. And you have to create that curiosity, not resistance. So I never, ever use the word Beachbody. And in fact, today, I actually posted the flowers that Beachbody sent me yesterday. And I was hesitant to do that because you can kind of see the word Beachbody in the ribbon. And I was like, oh, I don't know, this really goes against my brand, but I posted anyway. But I never say Shakeology. I never say Energize. I never say Beachbody on Demand. I say my Sweatflix or my Netflix of workouts, my lifestyle coaching gig, because I'm not just a health or fitness coach, right? I'm mentoring people on how to change their mindset, work on time management, just become a better person, right? So that's the whole lifestyle. And I say like my power punch for Energize. And what happens is people don't realize that I'm selling. Most people tell me like, I didn't even realize you were selling something. And then they're more likely to become coaches, because most people don't want to be coaches because they don't want to annoy their friends and followers. But they see how I've done it in a way that's very tasteful, that's not salesy. And so then they're like, okay, if she could do that, she's going to teach me how to do that. And then I won't be salesy and I won't be annoying people. So I create that curiosity where people are like, what do you do? Who do you work for? What is this drink? What is the recipe? Where are these workouts? How can I get them? And every day I get messages with those questions. You have to remember that you get what you post for. So if you want Rockstar coaches, you have to post that you are a Rockstar coach. And I know some people don't like this phrase, but you got to fake it till you make it, right? And you have to show that you are a hard worker. So now I want to talk about posts and stories and kind of tie what you get what you post for in with this. So my strategy for posts versus like Insta stories, Facebook stories. The posts that live on my social media forever are like my $1 million advertisements. These are clear images. They're bright. They're very engaging. They're scroll stopping, because I want to catch people's eye. And then I want them to read the post and be like, oh, I like this girl. I connect with her. My stories are behind the scenes, that like real life stuff. Okay. So in my stories is where I'm showing how hard I'm really working. And on my social media, I'm really sharing like the highlight reel and all the benefits. And then behind the scenes in my stories, I'm showing some of like, okay, I get up at 5 a.m. every single morning. And most times I'm up until 12 p.m. I'm up till midnight working. And I show like every morning, first thing I do when I wake up is I do an Insta story where I'm a mess. My hair is a mess. I have my glasses on. And I'm like, I'm up, I'm tired, but I got to get my work done, right? My daughter goes to sleep. I'm on there showing how I'm working hard. It's nighttime. I'm like, I'm so tired. I just got off team calls and I'm still up working. But all throughout the day, I'm also showing all of the highlights and the amazing benefits that I get. So for example, I just spent 2 weeks in France with my husband and my daughter. We spent Christmas and New Year's in France. And that whole time, people were very intrigued. So on my Facebook page and my Instagram page, I was posting the beautiful photos of us in the French Riviera. But in my stories, I'm showing, all right, we just got back. I drank a whole bottle of wine at dinner, but I'm responding to messages and I'm getting people enrolled in this group. I'm going to get up in 4 hours and I'm going to start working. So I was showing the highs of, okay, you want this life. You want to be able to travel and have these experiences, but you also have to put in the work. So my coaches, the women who are attracted to me and want to join me and who I invite, they see me doing all of these amazing things, but they also see the work that I'm putting into it. So they come into the business with that expectation of, okay, I have to get up early. I have to stay up late. I have to work when my kid sleeps instead of watching TV. And that is where I get all of my successful coaches. And then even in some of my posts that live on my page forever, I will share like the hard work that I'm doing. So for example, when we booked our flights to go away, it was a Saturday morning. I had this cute picture of me and my daughter and my husband. And I said, we just booked our flights, but I pulled an all-nighter. And I did. I stayed up all night on a Friday night working on Beachbody stuff, right? Because I want people to know, okay, you want this life, but you got to put in the work. So the women I get have that long-term vision. They see what I've done and they know that they can do it too, but they have to make those sacrifices. So they come in willing to make the work. I see a lot of people get caught up in not sharing the hard work. And then they get people who come in and then they quit because they don't know that, oh, you actually have to like do something here. This is my avatar. If you don't have an avatar, you can watch. There's like a bazillion trainings on YouTube on how to create an avatar. But what's really funny is mine is named Taylor. That's my middle name. My name's Ashley Taylor. And actually, got a coach named Ashley Taylor. And then in her email, I saw that she had these numbers and I was like, is that your birthday? We have the same exact birthday and the same exact name. How creepy is that? But I can't tell you how many coaches on my team actually have the name Taylor in like some part of their name. It's super creepy. But every time I make a post, I think of this girl. How can I speak to her? And this is the girl I was before Beachbody, or right when I started Beachbody. And this is a struggle web. This is just like a snippet of my struggle web. You don't want to just, like, the reason people are going to connect with you and want to join your team isn't because of your workout videos, isn't because of your Shakeology pictures. It's because of the other things that you're sharing. They need to connect with you on a deeper level. Your story is what is going to set you apart from all of the other coaches out there. And that's what people are going to, why they're going to be drawn to you. So the more I share about these things, the more coaches that I recruit, because they see a lot of themselves in me. And the more I share, the more they share with me. And that expedites the process of forming them. I don't have to ask them any questions. They like email me and they send me like their whole life story and how we are connected and how they relate to me. So it just makes, that's how I can get so many Success Club points a month. I'm not spending a ton of time forming people. I just share everything publicly and then they feel compelled to share with me and then I get them signed up. Okay, so you have to know who you're talking to. Now here's good stuff. Take more action. Here's specifically what I do. The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. If you haven't read that, you gotta read it. I have listened to that book 6 times. 6 times. Anytime I'm up late at night working, I have earbuds in and I'm just letting him talk in my ears. He gets me so fired up. It makes me realize, like, you know, it'll be 10 o'clock and I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. And then he's like, no, you can work harder, right? And I'm like, oh, I gotta keep going. But anyway, so your challenge groups, right? I recruit a lot of, I don't sign people up as discount coaches initially. I sign them up as challengers and then I message them. I do everything in the My Challenge Tracker app. So I will say, like, you are killing it. You have logged this many workouts and this many shakes and you're the star. And I would love for you to be a coach. And so I personally invite them that way. Private invites. I do private invites mainly on Insta. I'm trying to grow my Instagram now. Now that I got my Facebook up and running, I'm like, Project 2017 is Instagram. So I will privately invite there. And then public posts. I post about coaching almost every single day of the week. That is really my goal, a minimum of 5 times a week to post about coaching. And I always think about, like, Bonnie Engel, what does she do? In a lot of her videos, she's like, I just talk about coaching every day. And I never did that. And then when I started doing it, I started to get more coaches. And you have to remember that those coaching posts will always get less likes than any other post you make. And you just have to not worry about the likes. For example, the other day I made a coaching post and it got like 20 likes, which is like uncharacteristically low. But all my posts today have been really low. I think something's going on in Facebook. But I got like 15 coaching applications that day from a post that didn't perform well. So you never know who's seeing it, just not choosing to like it. So you just have to post about coaching, share unapologetically, and share relentlessly. So every day I try to mention something about coaching, and about 3 times a week, I will have a call to action where it's like, fill out this application or join my sneak peek group. And I'll talk about those in just a moment. But my schedule is Monday mornings. I will always make a coaching post, because I know that's when people go back to work and they had to lay down in order to button their pants because they ate too much over the weekend and they're going to a job they don't want to be at and they're miserable. So that's when I hit them with, hey, guess what? I get paid to work out at home, sit in this like comfy chair and be with my daughter. And then I do the same thing on usually like Thursdays for payday, and then Fridays I always do like, it's no TGIF here. Every day is TGIF in my world. And then Sunday nights I make a coaching post as well, and those are usually the call to action ones. So now I want to talk to you about my like specific strategies. So all of 2017, from January until November, I ran a weekly sneak peek group, right? I 10x'd it. I was doing monthly sneak peek groups, and then I was like, Grant Cardone, what would he do? 10x it. So I started to do weekly sneak peek groups. And so every single Monday, I created a new Facebook group, and then I would have that call to action Sunday night, Monday morning. Who wants to learn more about what I do as a coach? And then in that sneak peek group, I would do 4 live videos. So on Monday, I always would talk about what is coaching and who I'm looking for. And that's where I would say I'm looking for the hard workers, the ones who aren't going to give me excuses, the ones who are willing to grow, the ones who want to create 6-figure incomes. I want the ones who have big dreams. And then obviously that would like weed people out, and only the ones who are really committed would come back the next day. And then Tuesday morning, I would talk about the worries, the fears, the misconceptions. And those topics are, I'm not a health or fitness expert. I'm not at my goal weight. I don't have a large network. I'm shy. I don't want to be salesy. I don't have time. Is this a pyramid scheme? I'm not that interesting. And I'm worried about what other people would think of me. So I address all of those in one video. Later in the day, I talk all about the money. And then on Wednesday, I talk about spouse support and the training and mentorship that I provide. I would get super pumped up before I went into those sneak peek groups. I would have some coffee, read some personal development, and get in and bring the passion and the excitement. And I learned this from Miguel. I watched a video one time of him saying like he gets so pumped up that like if he gets off a phone call with someone and they don't want to sign up right then and there, he failed. So I think about that every time. Like I have to like exude such excitement and joy for this so that people are like, I need whatever she wants. Right? Because people buy into your joy. And I was just telling one of my coaches this, and I'm going off on a tangent. I have no idea if I'm over time. I'm almost done, Scotty.
You're fine, Ashley. You can go longer if you want as well. Whatever we can get from you.
Okay. But I was telling one of my coaches this, like people buy into your joy, and what they don't have. And I remember Anita Myron sharing the story with us that, she was in a depression and she was looking at her coach, Leslie, and Leslie every day showed up and was so happy and was posting on social media. And Anita was like, I need whatever she's doing, whatever's going on in her life. I need that in my life. So you think about that. When I'm making my posts, how can I exude such joy to show like what kind of blessing this is? And even when I first started coaching, I was working a full-time job. I was going to grad school year round on the weekends. I was pregnant and we were in the middle of a move. So I did not have a ton of time, and it was not, the best. It wasn't all rainbows and butterflies, but I found the joy in helping other people and really finding my passion. And that's what I always put into my head before I put a post out or sent out an invite. Okay. And then after those weekly sneak peek groups, so every week I started a new group, and then I would follow up with everyone. And then any coaches who joined, I would post their new coach announcement in that group so that all of the other people in that group would be like, oh, people are joining her. Like, this is a legit thing. Like, maybe I should join her. And then when those new coaches hit Emerald and hit Success Starters, I would go back to that group they were in. I would post their announcement in there as well. So everybody else in that group who hadn't signed up and had been thinking about it was like, okay, people are signing up and they're having success quickly. So maybe I do need to do this. And that had a lot of success with people like who would join in January, and then they kept seeing me go back and post those announcements in that January group. And then in May, they'd be like, okay, I've been watching, I see all this success, like I need to sign up. Then in November, I realized that people were too busy to be in sneak peek groups. So I took all of those 4 live videos and I just recorded myself giving all the info in one video. And then what I do now, and I'm still doing this just because it's so much easier, is I make a post and I say, if you're interested in learning about coaching, fill out this application and I'll email you with a video to watch. And the benefit is that I have their emails. And so I send out a weekly newsletter. And so I'm staying in contact with these people. Whereas with the sneak peek group, I didn't have their emails. They were joining a group. Oh, my daughter's up. They were joining a group and I didn't have a way to really stay in touch with them. So right now, this is what I'm doing and it's working well. And the video is long, but I feel like it's a test. Like if they can watch that 1-hour video, then I want them on my team. London, come here. It's okay. Okay. And then this is the last thing I have to share with you. And this is where I'm having a ton of success right now. Give me 1 second.
You're okay. You're okay. My team's used to my kids coming in, but they actually take over the screen, right? If Malik's here, he'll put his face right in the camera. I'm loving all this stuff. This stuff is so good.
Okay, I gave her a lollipop, so we're good. Okay, now the apprenticeship is something I have done. I started doing these in September, monthly, okay? So it's a free group for potential coaches. So what I do is I have Anybody who's interested in coaching, sign up for the free trial of Beachbody On Demand. I put them in this group and I run it with my success partner, Holly Hilger. So we put our people in the same group, and every morning we give them a different workout to do, and then they do the workout, they post their sweaty selfies, so they're getting a feel for like the challenge group community. And then in the afternoon, Holly and I take turns going live in the group and giving a coaching assignment. So day 1 is posting on social media how to share or not sell. Day 2 is adding friends and expanding your network. Day 3 is like personal development. Day 4 is, connecting with people and sending messages. And every day they're building, so like day 4, they're doing all 1, 2, 3, and 4 assignments. So what's nice about this is that they're getting a taste of the community, and they're getting a taste for coaching without the pressure of making sales, hitting Success Club, having those scary conversations with people. And they're getting a lot of love and support. So they're posting on social media, they're talking to people, but they're not selling anything. So they're willing to make those connections, and people are willing to really support them. And so they get that taste and that high that coaching gives at the beginning, right? And, now, and they fall in love with it. And so then at day 7, we're like, okay, if you are ready to do this, make a live video on your page and say that you have really loved this week and you're going to sign up as a coach, and you're looking for people who want to join a group that you're going to start running. And what happens is they get initial customers right away because people have been watching them and seeing them over that week, and they trust them. And then they're like, yeah. So what happens is at the end of that apprenticeship, 7 days, they sign up as coaches, and they immediately have challengers who want to sign up. And sometimes they have coaches who want to sign up too. So that's a great way to get some initial success. And they already kind of know the vital behaviors on day 1 of actually being a coach. So that has been really, really successful. And almost every coach who signs up for the apprenticeship actually signs up to be a coach. So that's pretty exciting. And okay, so just call to action. So in order to be a rockstar recruiter, you have to believe in the coaching opportunity. You cannot have 1 ounce of doubt in Beachbody, in the compensation plan, in anything. If you have doubt, that's going to come through whether you realize it or not. And then people are going to see that doubt and not want to join you. You have to believe in yourself and step outside your comfort zone and grow as you become a leader. You have to develop your avatar, your struggle web, share your story consistently in order to connect with the right people on a deeper level, and then talk about coaching at least 3 times a week publicly. Send those invites, send as many invites as you can privately with the mentality of I am going to change your life. I was not invited to the coaching opportunity, and I'm really ticked off about that. I always think like if somebody would have invited me, I'd be so much farther ahead. I'm like mad at all the coaches who never invited me. So when I send invites, I think about that, of what this has done for me and how I want to pay that forward, and then just take more action. So that's all I have for you guys. I hope that it was helpful. Scotty, are there questions?
Okay, Ashley, that was incredibly helpful. I'm sorry. I apologize that I did not find you and invite you to our team. I'll be the first one to say that. No, I learned so many things from you. I'll give a couple minutes to see if someone writes a question. We'll give them a second, but I just want to share something while we wait for a question to see if someone has a question. Like the avatar thing, just so that you guys know, I've never done, even till now, almost 7 years later, I'm like, everybody needs what I have and what I can offer. And I think I haven't built the tribe completely that I want, right? We're an amazing team and we're continuing to grow, but I haven't been able to teach some of you guys how to do that the right way. And it's so amazing, like what you're teaching us, Ashley, like even the last 2 weeks, I got more specific, like all the way very clear on who I wanted to attract. And I sponsored my first coach today of the year. Not my first coach, right? My first coach of the year. And they're exactly what I had on that thing. Just like you were saying with your middle name. Another thing that I'm going to share with you, like we've been thinking about and trying to plan like how to change our sneak peeks and make them more engaging, not so long and boring. And so it's like no surprise to me that you gave us that answer. So we're going to team up with a team and use what you shared with us on that. And then I'm going to just remind everybody, remember Erin Shu did a call for us? She went from discount coach for like 3 years, sponsored 9 coaches. She gave us exactly the email she sent to her customers, the email she sent to her coaches, what she put on her Facebook, and about this album she made, and she sponsored 9 coaches in 1 month, right? So I did most of that except one thing, the album, because I was stubborn. I did all the other things before. I've done the Facebook post. I've done the email to the customer, to the coaches. But me, this veteran coach, is like, I'm not going to do that album thing. I've never made an album on Facebook ever. I made an album today, and my coach came from that album this morning. I put the post up this morning. I copied word for word her album description, and I put in like the same pictures from 80 Day Obsession. And I have 8 other people that are giving me the details how to get into that group so I can start with you on Monday. Guys, so like when we're learning things, that's my lesson to you guys. She did that call like 3 weeks ago, and I didn't do that until today. So take what Ashley's teaching or some insight that you had, and my suggestion is to apply it today. So I'm going to ask 2 questions to you before we let you go, Ashley. Unless the little one gets upset, we'll let you fly. The first question is, what's your most common objection and how do you respond?
It's usually about spouse support. Like my husband thinks this is a scam and he's not on board. And so I'm like, well, so was mine, right? The most powerful way to combat an objection is with your own personal testimony. So my husband, the first fight we ever got in 10 years was when I told him I was signing up as a coach. So I just share that story. And then the other one is time. Like, I don't really have time for this. And I'm like, well, then, it's a matter of being disciplined. Are you willing to make those sacrifices? And I'm like, give me your schedule. Okay, well, you can wake up 30 minutes earlier. You could stay up 30 minutes later. Are you willing to make that sacrifice now so that you can have, whatever you want in the future?
Awesome. And then the last question is from Allison. It just is kind of re-asking something that you shared about the Facebook groups, the sneak peeks. So you create a new Facebook group every single week and keep the old group open.
I do. Yeah. So I have 50 some groups, only because I like to track people that way. So I use Google Streak to track. And so when they join a group, I have a pipeline, if you're familiar with Streak. So it'll say January 8th group. And then I have put everybody that joined that group, their name in there. And then I will move them, I'll be okay, I followed up with them, I'll change their color, etc. But then I like to see how many groups they've joined, because I noticed that some people were joining 5 sneak peek groups. Every week they'd rejoin. And I'm like, you were just in the past 4. But I think they just needed to keep rehearing it, and they needed that validation that this is legit, it's not a scam. And then they would join. So that was nice just to be able to see. And I like to be able to go back into those groups and post the announcements and that kind of stuff. If it was one big group, I think people would just turn off the notifications, because every week they'd be getting Ashley Lachlan is live, and they wouldn't pay attention. But if you're in a group in March and then all of a sudden you see Ashley Lachlan posted in this group in May, you're going to pay attention to it.
I like that. Can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
So I saw your struggle web, which I've never seen before. I've seen things like that, but not in the Beachbody training world. So I love that concept and idea. So I understand a little bit. 75 pounds you lost, correct? Was that right?
Yeah.
And then I saw the struggles. I was looking through it as you were talking. So I can kind of understand, because I coach people for 7 years, why you do what you do. But will you tell me and the team why you do what you do and where you see yourself in 10 years?
Yeah. So my mom was not, I think one of the defining things about me is that my mother was not around to raise me. She's an alcoholic. My father struggles with addiction as well. So I was raised by my grandparents, and we obviously did not have any money. And so I always had this vision, and I always felt like an outsider looking at other families. I want that so badly, and I want success. And so I did everything like I was supposed to do, and I went to school, and I got all these degrees. And then I, got there, I was like, this isn't really what I want. Here. So anyway, and I was like, I want to be at home with my daughter more than anything because I didn't have that. So my why every day is to, go against all odds. If you look at my background, you would never think I'd be someone to be successful, but I think that's what drives me. And I don't ever want her to feel those feelings that I felt when I was growing up. So, in 10 years, I don't know. I haven't even thought. I'm just trying to think of like where I want to be next week.
That's all right. Well, I love that. And that's a powerful testimony of what you can do when you turn your tests in your life into your testimony, and your mess of your past life into a message for other people. And we're going to let you be with your daughter because that's why you did this. So thank you for sharing with us. Just a quick announcement about next week's call so you can prepare. We have Z on our team call, Z Slingsby, also a new 5-star diamond coach. So thanks for sharing with us today, Ashley. We appreciate your time so much, and we'll see you guys. Have an awesome week, and bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.